Hi, I'm Liz Mystery and I'm the author of a brand new series of books set in Bradford featuring DS Nikki Perec. This first one is called Last Request, and today I'm going to read you an extract from the point of view of the killer. Time in captivity, 6 days, 1 hour and 25 minutes. Note how our captive has deteriorated. The past days have not been kind to her. Her own fault, of course. If she'd been worthy, she'd have been allowed to proceed with her life. Observe as the shadowy figure enters from the gloom and hovers behind the specimen. It's the captive's reactions that are so intriguing. Her hands are tied and clasped in her lap, with rope binding her chest to the death chair, so her responses are restricted. However, take note of how her right leg judders up and down as she nears the end. She holds her head high, stares at the blinking light, eyes dull yet focused. A fascinating study of the human meeting his maker. Note how the wounds across her chest have scabbed and crusted, each one at a different stage of repair, each bearing testament to her valiant struggle to prove her worth. She lasted well, tried so hard, harder perhaps than the rest. She has surpassed all the others before her, yet still she's failed. More than 70 cuts, one for each failure. So many opportunities, so many failures. If it wasn't so necessary, I'd almost feel sorry for her. Note how she, unlike those who've gone before, has carried herself with dignity, pride, spirit even. We're in the home stretch. Watch and learn. Bear witness, for you are privileged to be party of this. As the camera zooms in, focusing on the captive's face before cutting away to sweep downwards, we see despair etched across her forehead in rivulets of blood and sweat. Visible as we pan down over her body are each of the punishments she's endured, and yet, still, she is unable to justify her entitlement, or indeed her inability to fulfil her potential. One is bad enough. The two together are unforgivable. Watch as the figure, like a bird of prey, circles the captive female, prodding her on the thigh with a live cattle prod. The captive's response is sluggish, her groan half-hearted, a sure indication that her strength is dwindling. Alas, my dear audience, I feel her time with us will be short. However, pay attention to her final moments as she's challenged for one last time. I guarantee you'll not regret your dedication. Look at the camera. You've proven time and time again that your privilege is stronger than your brains, that you're lacking, undeserving of the opportunities that have been offered you at the expense of those more deserving. You have one last thing you can do, one last thing you can leave behind, a last chance, if you will, to redeem yourself in the eyes of those who matter to you, a chance to prove that there is more to you than unearned advantage. The detail we're privy to has never before been recorded. You, my dear audience, are witnessing history in the making. As we zoom in, we can focus on her open eyes with their pinprick pupils. Panning down, we see the pulse at her neck, weak and erratic. Observe her stare. I wonder if she too senses the importance of what is about to unfold. These last few special moments have a significance all of their own. Let them not be in vain as the captive is released to her death, aware that her last request is recorded for posterity. Closure at the end of a long struggle which so nearly ends in victory. Are you ready to relinquish your privilege and admit your shortcomings? Ouch. As the cattle prod engages with her thigh, she barely reacts. A single jolt of the head, no more. Oh dear, don't judge the figure after all his hard work. Indulge him his enjoyment. It's good to be happy in your work. After all, This is what all of this is about. A commitment, a dedication to your life choices. You can do better than this. No? Show your audience some strength. Despite his plea and the added incentive of the cattle prod, you can see our captive refuses to respond. Look at the way her mouth tightens. Her defiance is admirable, if ill-placed. Let's see if she can be tempted. Right. The floor is yours. Your chance. Your final chance. What is your last request? Make it count. This time you won't get a retake. Look how her figure moves into position behind her captive, lifting her almost lifeless head, making sure you, his captive audience, miss nothing. The figure's words run out. Your turn. Make good. Make it clear. You only have one shot at this. It's your final night production. What is your last request? See how her eyes flicker. Her mouth opens, her tongue flicks out, licking her lips. I'm sure you agree, her final performance, her swan song, has to date been inspirational. Let's hope she makes it count. I can feel you willing her on, wishing her the strength to complete her last request. But only a gurgle of unintelligible words reaches our ears. No, my mum. You can see how much she's trying, how much she wants to do this. This is her legacy, her final chance. I'm sure we've all got our fingers crossed that she doesn't stumble at the last hurdle. She's tried all the way along the trial, giving a stellar, almost successful performance. Let's give her a round of applause to spur her on now. Don't be mean, applaud her efforts. Our figure leads the clapping, and the sound of her encouragement seems to have the desired effect. Our captive starts and her eyes flicker again. Come on, you can do this, lass. You can do this. You need to do this. You know you do. My mum. Love my mum. Tell her. Love her. Didn't she do well? Her last request duly recorded. Now for the finale. Focus now. Watch as with all the gravitas fitting such an auspicious occasion, our figure lifts the hammer above her head. Game over. Last request denied. Last request recorded and denied. Julie Catch, 0322.